Stunts are an illusion, a part of filmmaking that's usually supposed to blend into the background so you don't notice it's all make-believe. Sometimes, though, a piece of stunt work is so well executed that you can't help but view it as a piece of incredible athleticism, choreography, and coordination outside of its place in the story. Here are some of our favorite stunts in Netflix films that are definitely worth gasping over. Six Underground isn't just another Michael Bay movie, it is in many ways the ultimate Michael Bay movie. Just look at the opening 20 minutes, as Ryan Reynolds and his team of clandestine vigilantes race across Florence, committing murder while the police and the mob are hot on their tails. Numerous cars are destroyed. Explosions go off everywhere. There's tons of blood, several fatalities, and more stunts than you could ever possibly count.
Nice call on the Dayglow green.
Flashy blends right into the Italian architecture.
One in particular stands out though. See, while Six Underground gives every member of its team time to shine, the film's breakout star is Four, played by Ben Hardy. Known as the Skywalker, Four is a parkour expert who spends most of Six Underground scaling buildings, leaping between rooftops, and making near-impossible jumps onto itty-bitty platforms. It's not a trick either. For Six Underground, Four's stunts were handled by real-life parkour collective Storer. Those are real people performing all those moves, resulting in some of the most thrilling parkour scenes ever put on film. So yeah, when you see Four slide down the Florence Cathedral, a 376-foot building that was opened in 1436, that's really happening. Not only did Bay and his team manage to get permission to film on top of the world-famous landmark, but Storer member Drew Taylor actually performed the so-called Duomo Run live. In fact, according to Taylor, that was the very first day of filming. It's hardly a surprise that Extraction, the gritty action movie that stars Chris Hemsworth as a mercenary charged with saving a gangster's son, is a stunt-filled extravaganza. Extraction's director, Sam Hargrave, has been one of Hollywood's most in-demand stunt coordinators since 2006. He's responsible for the fight scenes in all 4 of the Hunger Games flicks, as well as a bunch of Marvel movies, including the 1-2 punch of Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. As such, Extraction is basically a non-stop string of hard-hitting stunts and blood-soaked action beats. And while it's more grounded than Hargrave's MCU work, it's no less spectacular. The entire movie is filled with top-tier stunt work. However, its masterpiece is undoubtedly the 12-minute action sequence that comes about 45 minutes into the film. The scene features a car chase, a fight in the confines of a narrow apartment complex, and daring leaps across buildings. And it's filmed to look like it's unfolding in a single take. It's a technical marvel. It also includes the most brutal stunt in Extraction. Near the end of the sequence, Hemsworth's character, Tyler Rake, gets in a rooftop brawl with his nemesis, Saju Rov. During the scuffle, Rake and Saju tumble over the edge of the balcony, slide down the awning, fall off the roof, slam into the side of a parked truck, and then get up and keep fighting. It looks incredibly painful, and if you think there's some trick involved, think again. According to an Instagram video posted by Hemsworth, it's literally just 2 dudes falling off the roof of a building with everything that entails. At least the Avengers star didn't perform the stunt himself. John Woo has been making top-tier action films for over 30 years. At this point, you know what you're gonna get. There's going to be some slow motion, there are going to be all kinds of heightened stylistic flourishes, a shot of some doves, creative gunplay, and plenty of hand-to-hand martial arts. Woo's Manhunt is no exception. For most of the film, the 2 central characters play a game of cat and mouse, full of increasingly daring last-minute getaways. That changes, however, when our wrongfully accused hero is attacked by a group of leather-clad assassins. See, at that particular moment, he happens to be handcuffed to the very man who's been trying to hunt him down, and the 2 foes suddenly find themselves forced to cooperate in order to survive. There are plenty of great stunts in this dance-like fight scene, like the moment when the 2 men slide down a staircase in tandem, burst through a doorway together, or need to team up to reload a gun. The best part, though, involves an antique sword being flipped through the air and unsheathed for a bold one-handed attack. That moment and the perfectly choreographed sword fight that follows are just as fun as they sound. If you're in the mood for stunts that are less interested in being realistic and more interested in being as cool as possible, you can't do much better than Bleach, the live-action adaptation of the ultra-popular manga and anime of the same name. Simply put, it is wild. Bleach is about a high school student named Ichigo who unexpectedly acquires the powers of a Soul Reaper, which makes him responsible for killing corrupted souls known as Hollows. Armed with a gigantic sword and a mysterious mentor, Ichigo begins hunting the creatures down, all while trying to avoid the wrath of the other Soul Reapers who aren't so happy about adding a mortal to their ranks. Through a combination of CGI, wire work, and lots of stunts, Bleach's action scenes look like they've been ripped straight out of the anime, especially once the film's climax kicks in. The sword fight that ensues when the Reapers come to take back what's theirs is unlike any other action scene you've ever witnessed. It also contains the movie's coolest stunt. As a Reaper bounces off the top of an overturned car and charges at him, Ichigo does a flip and kicks the Reaper in the back, only to get a knee to his face for his efforts. Outlaw King is the story of Robert the Bruce, the Scottish king who freed his people from English rule in the years following the events of Braveheart.
I wear this crown as a symbol of my duty to serve the Scottish people.
Just like that film, Outlaw King is packed with medieval battles, which make it a great place to find some top-notch stunt work, as well as some spectacularly bloody special effects. Unlike most modern stunt spectaculars, however, Outlaw King is messy, brutal, and chaotic. There's absolutely nothing glamorous about it. If anything, that makes Outlaw King's best stunts hit even harder. Just look at our two favorites, both of which come during Outlaw King's final battle. In one, a Scottish fighter stops an approaching English cavalry member by swinging his battle axe, knocking the Englishman clean off his horse. Moments later, another Scotsman takes out a foe by jumping in the air and punching him in the face with an armor-clad fist. In the grand scheme of the battle unfolding around them, these are small moments. However, thanks to Outlaw King's excellent stunt coordination and exquisite sound design, they hit extremely hard. Thanks for watching. Click the links in our video to watch more from Netflix Film Club. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest exclusive videos. Plus, hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.